Hey guys, it's Chris. So the question is floor time. What is it? How does it work? And how could you be the best at it and make a lot of clients off it? So first of all, what is it? Floor time is where some real estate agents will instead have to have as a company policy. They'll have to have the company's phone number on the actual name writer. So with that being said, and also having the company's number online, people will want to call that number. And the way it works is you could sign up for floor duty. At least that's how my office works. You sign up for floor duty, and from there you come here as a shift almost. And from that shift, whoever calls the office during that time will get the call. And the cool thing is our front office has receptionists, so we're not actually taking the job as a receptionist. They take all the calls that need to be directed where else. But someone that calls asking for a house or say, hey, I saw a house, they're going to direct that call towards you. Now the question is, what do you do once you get that call? So there's a couple things you want to get prepared for it. First thing is have MLS open. You want to have two MLSs open. One so you can look up the actual property, and the second is to have the second MLS open so you can look at other options, because most of the time they're never going to want the property they call you for. So always if they say they want a 3-bedroom actually, so while they're talking, you're on the other MLS looking up 3-bedroom. That way you can say, oh hey, by the way Steve, I have one over here available. It's about 5 minutes away. Do you want to check it out? I'm free in about an hour. Do you want to go look at it? That's the best route. Second, you're going to be looking at either buyers or sellers. So with sellers, you want to have something prepared. Always assume someone's going to call you for that floor time. Always assume the best. Always assume someone's going to say, hey, I want to sell my house, or hey, I want to look at this house. I want to put an offer on it today. So that way you're never unprepared. So you want to have the MLS open, and you want to have something ready. What I have is called a worksheet, and I'll get that for you. I have it here. Okay. So I have a pre-listing interview. Now when I'm on floor, I always keep these handy. I always have one just right next to me in case someone calls. Now the great benefit to having floor too is you could do all the other work you have to do. You could do all the paperwork, you could do all the boring stuff or fun stuff for you during the floor time. So that way you get 2 birds in 1 stone. So this to me, floor is almost the icing on top of the job. You just get some freebies there. Okay, so you want to have the pre-listing interview. This is what I have. A good friend of mine gave it to me, but there's other ways you could get them, or you can make your own. But it's real simple. I'll ask you, do you have 10 minutes of your time, and ask you some questions about selling your house, and they'll say most of the time, yeah, that's fine. So I'll go through. I'll ask them their name, their property address, their phone number, things like that. Get that done first. So if you guys get disconnected or whatever, or it turns south, you have that information. Second, ask them the stats about the house. How many bedrooms? How many square footage? How old is the house? Have done any updates to the house? Things of that nature. Everything that you think you're gonna need in order to do a great listing presentation. So what I do, I get that information. I tell them, okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and do some stats in your house, do a CMA for you. That way, when I come meet you, I'll be a little more prepared. Is that okay? And they'll say, yeah. And then you'll say, well, I like to schedule time to meet up. Is that okay? And from there, you schedule time in your agenda, and you try to do it as soon as possible. Always go to an appointment as soon as possible, as soon as they'll allow you to. And that's basically the most of the floor time. And you will get some people that are just looky-loos and they don't want anything. But if for every 10 calls, you'll get 1 great call. So if you do this and you practice this and you do it correctly, you can make plenty of deals off this. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any suggestions or any comments, put them down below. Thanks.